All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. So we're going to talk about Nate Diaz and his contract situation with the UFC again, but this time I'm going to say something. I think he should re-sign with the UFC. That is going to be my position today, is that Nate Diaz should re-sign with the UFC, and I'll tell you why. We're going to separate this conversation into two sections. One is money. Two is called an inconvenient truth. That's the one you should really pay attention to. The inconvenient truth section. Now, if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. We're going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about Conor McGregor's live stream yesterday where he said who he's going to fight next. He said exactly what is in his mind. Like, Conor made very clear what is in his mind yesterday. If you didn't see it, you can watch my video on it coming up here soon. But anyway, tell me what you think about this video in the comments, because I'm going to make some pretty, I don't know about controversial. I'm just going to say, like, again, especially the inconvenient truth section. I think people are going to have some thoughts on this, but it's an inconvenient truth that is the truth. Okay, so anyway, so for Nate Diaz, you all know his situation, right? He has one fight left on his deal. He wants out, okay? He wants to be a free agent. He wants to go test free agency. Although test free agency is kind of a silly thing to say because we all know exactly what he wants to do. He wants to go fight Jake Paul, okay? I don't think it's a coincidence that Jake Paul doesn't have a fight booked right now. I think that they are waiting on Nate Diaz. I think Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul is the one. I think that's what everybody is trying to put together, etc. Now, I am doing this video from the position of operating from doing this video operating from the position, assuming that UFC is not open to co-promoting a Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz boxing match, which of course, if they were, would change the game completely. And of course, he should resign with the UFC. But my position is that that's a non-starter for the UFC, which might not be true, but probably. And so again, you have two sides of it. You got money and then inconvenient truth. And there's kind of a third one, which is like, you know, what fights do you want? It doesn't actually really matter. It's more money and then inconvenient. Anyway, we'll get into it. But like, the reason why I was thinking about this is because yesterday I did the Dustin Poirier fight about the Colby Covington thing. And Dustin was like, you know, look, I knew if I turned down the Colby fight, I might not fight for like 11 months. And so I was saying in my video, I was like, yeah, I mean, imagine you're Dustin. You're like, yeah, I'll take Nate Diaz. And Nate Diaz is like, nah, bro. Fuck you. I'm not fighting. Too busy pissing on shit, son. And then he's like, I'll fight Conor. He's like, nope, no, you won't. No, not till next year. And then he's like, all right, how about Colby? You know, so like he's out of options. So someone in the comments was like, do you really think that Nate Diaz is turning down the Dustin fight? And I thought about that and I was like, you know what? I see your point and I understand what you're saying because you're right. He's probably not turning down the Dustin fight directly, but he is though, right? Because if the UFC would just give him a Dustin fight and they're all, here's your last fight on your contract, it's Dustin Poirier. Of course, Nate would sign that. But the UFC is, of course, offering him here's the Dustin Poirier fight. They're all, well, the Dustin Poirier fight is in your left hand. What's in your right hand? They're all, a contract extension. Well, I don't want a contract extension. Oh, ooh, see, what's in the left hand has to come with what's in the right hand. As a matter of fact, you got to do the right hand first, then you get the left hand. Nate's all, yeah, but the whole point is I don't want an extension. I want to fight my contract out. They're all, ooh, that's not going to work for us, dude. You know, we'll think of something. We'll think of something. And so, yeah, Nate is turning down the Dustin Poirier fight because he doesn't want to sign an extension. And so now you got to just look at it like this, though. Okay, so let's say Nate did get out of his contract, right? So he gets a fight Jake Paul. Last fight did not sell very well. We all know why, although I don't think Tommy Fury would have sold any better, if I'm being honest. Jake Paul needs a good dance partner to sell. Now, I do think Jake Paul is an exceptional fight promoter. Exceptional fight promoter. Did you say Jake Paul's name next to exceptional and something about the fight business? You better take that back, Jesse on Fire. Nope, I don't think I will, actually. You guys remember when Jake Paul did the thing where he's in the back of the truck, you know, and Dylan Dennis was on Food Truck Diaries and they bombed him with water balloons? Remember that? That's genius fight promotion. Genius. How is that genius? It's childish. Really? Is it? The UFC's not promoting me. Hey, how do you think they'll do if you got in a bed of a truck with a bunch of your buddies and a bunch of cameras and you went to your desired opponent's fight camp where you all know where they are all the time? Okay? You know what camp they're in. Do you know where, Jackson Wink is? You can look it up on Google Maps. Everybody knows where these places are. And then when they were coming out of practice, you bomb them with water balloons. It's playful, but they'll get mad and you'll get it on camera. Do you think your profile in the UFC will grow or shrink? I don't know. What do you think? Probably grow, dudes. So it's smart fight promotion. Take this guy this last weekend, Lee or whatever, who was, I should have looked this up before, but the dude who was cornering the girl and he was like, watch out. He's like, it's a dirty Brazilian. They're going to cheat. And everyone's like, clutching my pearls. Did he say something racist? And you're like, yeah, dude, you should not have said that. That was not a smart thing to say. Assuming that you care about whether people think that you're, racially sensitive or not, or if you care whether or not every Brazilian wants to poke your eyeballs out, Now, hypothetically, if you don't care about those two things and you only care about your profile as a mixed martial artist, then saying that was actually pretty smart, because now everyone knows your name because they know you as that racist guy who said the thing about the dirty Brazilians. Okay. Now I'm not advocating for people to go out and say a bunch of racist shit or go do a bunch of crazy racist stuff. But if your only kind of success metric is your profile and your ability to draw eyeballs to your fights, then there is only one metric, and that is that. And Jake Paul is excellent at that. Okay. He's on fucking Nickelodeon a handful of years ago. He knocked it. Anyway. So, the point is that Jake Paul's a great promoter, and if you put him with Nate Diaz, they will do bananas numbers. But how much can you really expect to make if you're Nate Diaz? On a fight with Jake Paul, I don't know, 10 million maybe? Sounds like a lot of dough. I agree. Sounds like a lot of dough. Now, if the UFC is making offers that are absolutely not even in the ballpark of what he could make with Jake Paul, and 10 million might be high. I don't know. I really don't know. Because I don't really feel like I know what the real numbers of a Jake Paul fight are. And I don't actually feel like I really know what the numbers would be if Nate Diaz and Jake Paul boxed either. I'm really not sure. I mean, I know they would do better than Tyron Woodley, Jake Paul. And I think Tyron made like $7 million for that first one or something big like that. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. I have no idea what the numbers would be. They'd be good. But would they be great? And when you look at Francis and Tyson, Francis is an actual free agent, or will be in, the end of the year. He has the legal juice, to make him, to kind of defend that he's a free agent. And we'll get into that part in the latter half of this video, which is the part we call the inconvenient truth. And, with a Tyson Fury is the biggest star in the world in combat sports, right? Well, what about Conor McGregor? Maybe. Tyson Fury and Conor, Conor probably does bigger numbers. He does do bigger numbers. But Tyson Fury is an enormous star. Enormous. He's the biggest star in boxing. Bigger than Canelo even, I think. I don't know. I didn't look up their numbers, but he is a huge... He couldn't walk into any room anywhere where people won't know who he is. And so there's a huge amount to gain for Francis, in addition to the fact that he could get a guaranteed purse for that fight that would eclipse what he would make in any, four UFC fights combined. Is Nate going to be able to do that with a Jake Paul fight? I don't think so. But that doesn't matter, because now we're going to get to the inconvenient truth part, right? Actually, after I say Nate Diaz still has a Conor McGregor fight, another Masvidal fight, a Dustin fight. Those three alone, if the UFC is offering fair compensation, should be plenty of money. And I say that because of an inconvenient truth, which is the back half of this, which is this, okay? In order for you to go even entertain that you're going to go get that Jake Paul money, you have to actually get out of your contract. And here's the thing. So you can say, I have one fight left on my contract. Now, we've talked about this as it related to the Francis contract situation, because Chael straight up said it on his channel that he's like, yeah, you think that your contract is up at this date? Well, guess what, bud? Even if you know it, we know it, everybody knows it, you're still going to have to go prove it in court. What does that mean? That means if you just go try to book the Tyson Fury fight, they're going to sue you. You're going to have to go defend it in court, right? So if they just straight up didn't book Nate Diaz a fight because he won't fight an extension or sign an extension, does that mean that there's a date where he's just like, okay, I'm a free agent? It's like, yeah, nope. If the UFC is going to play it hard on Francis, I can't imagine they would do it any different with Nate. So the same rules apply. Okay. So Nate is going to be tied up in tied up in court probably too. Like you can't just like book a fight if you know that a guy is under contract, right? You know he's under contract, and then you book him, and then you generate all this revenue. You're going to be exposed to having to pay out the company that has him under contract. So whether or not Nate thinks he's out of his contract or everyone knows he's out of his contract, if the UFC is disputing the contract, no one's going to book him. And so the inconvenient truth is the amount of time it would take to actually get legal certainty that he's out of his contract. And so if you really factor all that in, it's like, just re-sign with the UFC, dude. How old are you? Honestly. Like, this is my whole thing. I think the odds of Nate actually getting out of his contract like clean and just going to do the Jake Paul fight absent the UFC being attached to it are extremely slim without the UFC making it real ugly. Ugly enough that it would have made it not worth it. And I don't think that equation is the same for Francis. I think that it's a different equation for Francis. But for Nate, it seems more, especially like who. I mean, I actually don't know who Nate's management is. But like Francis with CAA, they can make shit hard on the UFC too. You know what we think we should do if you take us to court? You know what I think we should do? I think we should dive straight into the UFC contracts in general and make sure that all these clauses in here are legal. Let's just make sure that you're not doing anything like just overtly illegal in here, Let's open the books. Let's see what they've done. We've got nothing else to do. We got a fucking 800-person legal team. That's not accurate. But, but Nate, what's Nate's legal team look like? What's his management's legal team look like? I'm just saying. There are big fights on the table for him. Conor's coming back at 70. You'll get to fight Super Conor, dude. You get to fight Captain America version of Conor, the super juiced up version. Not juiced up, but like I saw him yesterday on his live stream and I know exactly what he's doing now because he told us, and I am going to tell you in a second. That's the next video I'm recording. It's exciting. I like getting in the mind of Conor, but I will say this, like Conor's different now. That's one thing that I noticed about his interview yesterday. He's different, dude. And I will talk about that in a second on my other video. Anyway, that's what I got. Love you guys. Peace.